Okay, so today we're doing the Olney storage coffee table from Dunelm. Looks easier than a lot of stuff I've done. All of your items, all of your bags have got a letter on them. And if you've got a bracket, it already has the screws in it for the bracket. So the easiest thing to do is to turn to page 1, and you've literally just got to go through all of the pieces and put in the parts that they say. And just as an example on this one, where it wants a raw plug, you'll find the hole slightly bigger, and where you've got a pin, you'll find the hole is slightly smaller. And when you put these pins in, you'll see they've got a shoulder there. Just make sure you don't put it in any further than that shoulder, but make sure that the shoulder is sitting flush like that to the surface, and you'll be fine. Just be careful if you've decided to use an electric screwdriver, because if you spin that round, you'll mess up the thread and it'll become loose. So just start off by put your pieces in the same direction as they are lying on the floor in the picture, and work your way through and put all of your pegs and your pins in first before we get on to putting it together. Okay, so when it comes to putting these two short bits on the side, it's the first time you're going to use a locking pin. And the thing to know about the locking pin is it has an arrow on it. I'm trying to show you. There, if you see in the shadow, can you see there's a arrow there? Okay, so that arrow, when you put that in the hole, that arrow always points towards the pin that's coming in from there. Okay, and then once you've got them in there, you just give it a gentle turn with a posi drive screwdriver. Don't try and over tighten it, just lock that up. Okay, and then when you get to number 3, you've got to put these three pieces together. So it's that piece. Okay, so take note that the one on the left is the one with the metal brackets on it, and the one on the right doesn't have any metal brackets on it. And also note that the way they go up is with the notched out pieces facing that way. So make sure the holes on this one are facing you, and then make sure you've got those the right way round. So on part number 4, this is the one that you haven't put any fixings in yet. Not that one. It's not immediately obvious, but the bars you're putting on the side, the pins are at the bottom. So you can line them up and push them in, and then like this one, make sure your arrow's pointing that way. Pop it in, tighten it up, and do that on both sides. Just a point, if you ever need to take a piece of flat pack apart, all you've got to do is make sure that those are turned around so the arrow's pointing back, and it'll come across apart without you breaking anything. So I'll just get this one fitted together. So in number 5, you put it on your feet, and the only thing to notice here is the way that this is. Don't get the feet on the wrong side. So you've got your lip facing towards you, and then your foot goes on there, and 2 holes in there that line up with the 2 middle ones, and you need 2 of the screws that are marked up as a letter D. Okay, so one quick thing to note on number 6 is you're now going to put this and this together. Again, make sure it's facing the right way. But one thing you might miss, it's not easy to see, is there, look, it tells you you've got to put a dowel plug in. It's in the dotted line. So there's 2 per side. So you've got to put 2 dowels in. And then obviously I can't do it and film it, but that will locate up onto there. And then you need the D screw again, and put your D screws in from the bottom side, and those 2 pieces will be together. Okay, so on number 7 then, you're going to put the end on, number 2. But the thing to note here is you've also got to pick up the 2 rails that are called number 6. And the thing to make sure they're facing the right way, look, is that there's a big hole on one side, and that's facing to the inside of the cabinet. Okay, now what I've done, I'm on my own, but I've just put it on there like that, resting your notch. I've roughly lined it up with the end, and I've done the same with that one, and those holes are pointing to the inside. And then you've got to put number 2 on, and as you can see, there's quite a few pins to line up and pegs. Might be a 2-person job, I don't know, but obviously you can get it clamped up to these then. And then let's have a look. Yeah, we're going to have some more of the locking screws and that to go in, so I'm going to try and get this end on first. Okay, so that's this end on. Just follow around. You've got 1 locking in there, 1 in the bottom there, and then when you go underneath, you've got 3 down the sides as well. Okay, so all you got to do now is when you go to number 8 is just to repeat the other side. Be careful of this top bar, because it's only held on with 1 locking thing, and if you knock that off, you'll probably break the end. So just keep that steady and then go and put your other end on. Okay, so run to page 9, which is putting the top on. This is the heaviest piece of wood. It's actual wood, not chipboard. So it's the heaviest part, and you've got a lot of pins to line up. If you've got somebody that can help you, I would suggest that you get some help, because it's not easy to line up 20 pins. If you haven't got any help, what I do is I lift it up, I go up that end, I rest it gently on this end and line those pins up, and then I work my way around to the other end and line those up. And then obviously you've got lots of the pins, so everywhere there's a pin, you will need to put a locking screw underneath. If you ever find it difficult to line the locking screw up by looking at the arrow, something else you'll notice about them is that where the arrow is, which there it's on the left, underneath is where the gap, so the arrow is there and the gap is there. So sometimes you can, if you want to put something underneath, you can go, right, well the pin's here, put the gap there, push it up the hole. You can even turn it very fractionally with your finger and then do it with a screwdriver. So I'm going to get the lid on now. Okay, so then you've just got to screw the lid on. You'll see these funny screws you've got left in your packet. No idea why they've changed them over, but you need an Allen key to fit them. And there you go. You'll find there's, I think, three holes per side. I think it is. 1, 2, 3 holes per side. Fit those in with your Allen key, and then that's your top on. And we can just move on to the doors. Okay, I hope you had fun putting those all those 16 pins in. You only need one to be a fraction out, and you just got to work out which one it is. And then once that lid's on, you've then got three locking holes per side. Okay, so putting your doors on, you've got 4 holes per hinge and 4 holes for the screws, and you'll have lots of these little tiny screws left. Again, bit of a fiddly job till you get the first screw engaged, but not too bad. It's also mentioned in here that if you look underneath and your foot isn't touching the floor, you can obviously then just just unscrew the bottom so that touches the floor, so the table's got some support in the middle. And the only other thing it talks about on here is you've got, where shall we go, the screw in there, look, where you can move that very slightly backwards and forwards if you need to. And then this screw here pushes the door away or back. So when you stick this on, most of them, to be honest, when you put them on, they fit straight away. But if you need to adjust them at all to get them to line up and not rub, then you can use either this screw to move the top, or you can move this screw to move the door sideways. Okay, so that's the Dunelm Olney storage coffee table done. Just one last thing. I don't know whether this is true or not, but have you got any bits left? May have, may have not. I have. Now, one of the things I've done is, like, when I've got, not the pins, but these left, the good thing to do is just open up all the doors, have a look inside and see if there's any holes that have got no pins in. And one of the things I noticed, I'd even missed it myself, was that when we put the lid on, I told you there were 3 on that end and 3 on that end underneath inside, but there are also 3 there and 3 there that I'd missed. Okay, now if you've got any odd bits left, I think the reason is it's a lot cheaper for the company to put you a few spares in than it is you ringing up and saying that there's parts missing. So don't be overly worried. It'd be pretty obvious if it's loose in any way, but if you followed those instructions, I think you should be absolutely fine. So I hope that helps you. If you don't mind, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to build up my subscribers, and see you on the next one.